T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
It's a holiday, come on, celebrate and rejoice. Spreading unity in our families and communities. Because our legacy makes us so strong. Yeah. So let us come together to celebrate this season of Kwanzaa. It is Kwanzaa. It's time to celebrate and move so sober on this day. Because moja, kuji chakalia, ujima, ujama, nia, uba, imani. That is what we need. We gather around today to reflect upon our past. We've come so far, remembering all of those who came before us on Kwanzaa. From Rosa to Malcolm to Dr. King and Turner, yeah. From DuBois to Ashanti Wall, we honor you on Kwanzaa. It is Kwanzaa. It is Kwanzaa, yeah. It's time to celebrate. On this day, we got moja, chakalia. Jama, Mia, Cuba. That is what we need. Night by night, we light a candle as we reflect on what it means for love. What it means to love. We got the red for the blood and black for us. For us. In the green for the land, yes, for the land. It is Kwanzaa. Oh, oh. It is Kwanzaa. It is Kwanzaa, yeah. It's time to celebrate. Yeah. On this day, we need unity, self-determination, collective work, and economic opportunity. Yeah. Purpose is what we need, and creativity. Faith is what we really need. More joy, yeah. Fuji chocolate, yeah. Ujama, Mia, Maria. Faith is what we really need.
What's up, everybody? This is your RBG brother, God Hollywood Jr., coming to you with another exclusive program. We are here to do the second half of the debate I had in 2018. And again, I'm going to just break it down what was happening. But first, before I get in my topic, I want to say happy Kwanzaa to all my RBG family out there. Today is Nia, and this means purpose. And what is your purpose? You know, what is your goal? What is your purpose in life? So we all have a purpose. We all have a goal to accomplish. And this is something that we need to teach our kids. I want to give a shout out to Sister Mayat because she interviewed the brother who came up with Kwanzaa. And those people that call him an agent and all this other stupid ass crap, y'all can kick rocks, man. Y'all can kick rocks, real talk. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just want to hate on your own people for no reason, just to be hating on them, and y'all don't even have no solid people. I don't want these people on my platform. I don't want no hateful coons or coonettes on my panel. Y'all can kick rocks with that crap. But I want to give a big shout out to Sister Mayat for interviewing our brother who came up with Kwanzaa. And he broke it down why he gave us Kwanzaa. So I enjoyed that interview. I really did. I'm not going to get into the new year arguing and beefing with people that don't like Africa and don't like their own, because when you don't like Africa, that means you don't like your own people. You don't like your own people. You want to be something that you're not, that you can never be, and you will never be accepted. And that's just real talk. That's just how it is. So with that said, I want to get into this topic, this debate I had with this Lane B rap. And of course, who watched the first half, he talked about everything that had nothing to do with the topic. The topic was, or the topic was of the debate, Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam on trial. And it had nothing to do with Malcolm X. It had nothing to do with this person named Bilal that no one ever seen. And he stayed on Malcolm X. It had nothing to do with Malcolm. Didn't even tell you the whole story what went down with Malcolm X. He told you half truth. Then he talks about Wallace Farad Muhammad. And he embraced interracial relationships. But at the same time, he said they believe in separation. I was wondering, and then it dawned on me about the Nation of Islam. Sometimes you have to really get deeper on what they're saying. And this is something with the Hebrew Israelites, the GMS Israelites, and they kept saying, they said, well, we want to get away from the white man, but we want their women. And you heard one of them actually said, well, we don't want the African woman. One of them said, well, I don't find the African woman attractive. This is a black man talking. As you can see, his wife were white. And this is what the Nation of Islam is. They want the white man's women. And then as you can see, the B-Rab, and he got and I don't understand, like, dude, if that's what you want, if you want yourself a white woman, then you need to just become clean. We heard the audio. I even played the audio, and she said, hey, you had said some things that was inappropriate. And I know that you into polygamy, and I don't know if you want me as your wife. This is a Jewish white girl, and she said this. And according to them, they don't deal with Jews, the European Jews. They don't deal with them. So the whole purpose of the debate was the Islamic system and how these black people adopted the system, and which was a detriment to our people, was a destructive tool to our people. That's what I was talking about. I use Malcolm X as a way of saying, look how y'all did this, man. You didn't do that to the KKK. You did not do that to the skinheads. But you had all this arsenal for one man. For one man. And then you're going to hear him say, well, if we tap the KKK, then it will be no more. The Nation of Islam will be no more. He made excuses why he didn't tap the enemy. And he was buck dancing through the debate. And then he tried to put me on trial. I'm not the one on trial. I wasn't the one on trial. I want to give a shout out to Sister Rennie P. Before I move on, a shout out to you. Thank you, sis. Thank you. Hit that thumbs up. Sister Rennie P. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. RBG for life. RBG. Definitely. I want to give a shout out to my brother Rashid. Big up to you, Rashid. Happy Kwanzaa to everybody. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa. The day is principle is Nia. This means purpose. I want to give a shout out to Cool Gamer. Shout out to you, Hotep. Happy Kwanzaa, Hotep. So I want to let you know that there was no, I was hoping that he would explain or really talked about what I mentioned in a debate. What you have heard was a lot of excuses. You have heard a lot of fake information. When I quoted Dr. Ben in the video, that was an actual quote that anybody could look up. When I quoted Marcus Garvey, you could know I'm reading this. I'm reading this. This is not something that I was just making up. I'm reading the quotes that anybody can look up. But then he's going to try to say what Marcus Garvey said. Your man is not he's not a Garveyite. But you're going to question, or you're going to tell me what Marcus Garvey said? You can't tell me what Marcus Garvey said. You're not a Garveyite. You don't have nothing to do with his philosophies and opinions. You're a B-Rab. Your system is only with Islam. Marcus Garvey was a Christian man. And you look at him as, like one of the B-Rap suckers said, paganist. You would consider Marcus Garvey a paganist. So why would you even quote anything from him? Doesn't make any sense. So, like I said, this is a spontaneous program. I decided because I'm going to really go hard. My next live video, I'm going to go hard. And I might insult some people. I'm not going to give up no names. I could. Next year, I'm going to go in on the Nation of Islam. No one can defeat this information. No one can defeat me when it comes down to information. No one, especially these inner wild Negropeans, they can't defeat it because they know I'm right. They know they could be challenged. Their method is old. It was good at that time because black folks was looking for liberation at that time. And they could have had it if Elijah Muhammad was not thinking about his sexual organ and he was not thinking about his money. Black folks could have been liberated if he would just let Malcolm do his thing. Because that was the whole purpose of the Nation of Islam, to bring the politics, to bring war on our people. It would have been a civil war, a race war in the United States. We had enough black people, and it would have been black folks. It would have been the Africans. Let me just use that because I know it pisses a lot of B-Rabs off when I say that, especially one particular one. So the Africans in this country, in the United States, the Africans, ascendants, not descendants, ascendants. Ascendant means rise. We would have rose up and we would have ran the whole thing. It would have been a wrap. It would have been a wrap. But because you had a weak leader like Elijah Muhammad, a weak leader, of course, he's not going to want to do nothing to the so-called white man because his master was white. Can't do nothing to him. He even said JFK was his president. He said, well, our president. Wait a minute. I thought you believed in separation. You teach separation. He said, well, he asked me, well, what is our logo? He said, well, I said, well, I don't know. I didn't know what the Nation of Islam theme was or whatever they were about. I don't know because they were so full of contradictory. He said, well, we teach a separation. But you haven't shown that. You haven't proved this separation. You promote Wallace for Muhammad said that you claim that he has a black father and a white mother. That's not separation. So it's obvious he's not a black man. You had a coon, Elijah Muhammad, who said that he considered JFK was his president. That don't sound like people's about separation. So they'll tell you one thing, and what I was showing, that yeah, you saying all this sounds good, but your actions did not show it. Your actions, the system, the Islamic system, don't protect black African people. And he said it out of his own mouth in his older videos. Well, if you get caught with a cigarette, you get beat up. So what do you think if you talk against Elijah Muhammad? You worthy of death. This is what he said. You worthy of death. This is a black man co-signing another black man's death. It's insane. It's insane. It's sad. And I wish people to understand that we have enemy that looks like us, that's among us. Unfortunately, in the debate, I'm not friends with none of them. I'm not friends with none of them bastards, even the moderator. That was supposed to be my brother. The moderator, that was supposed to be my brother. And he betrayed me. He want to rock with people, rock with these B-Rabs who hate him. And you claim you RBG, you ain't RBG. The fuck? Get the hell out of here. 13 years I knew this dude. Betrayal. And I wish him well. He was a great moderator. We could have had more of this, of great debates like debates. He was a perfect moderator. He would have been a perfect guy to talk about really important issues. And be honest with you, I really looked up to that brother. And everybody kept saying, "Hey man, you could be a good moderator. You could be a really good as far as bringing news to the people." But he chose to be on the coon train. So you go over there with that. You go to fan base, bringing up coonish topics. You go over there. I start fucking with him. And I wish him well. I don't deal with these hobo Negroes. I don't deal with them. That's why I got rid of all of them. They didn't get rid of me. I got rid of them. They coming to me, apologize, I'm sorry, or I don't got no beef with you and all that. I don't want to deal with you. You mean nothing to me. See, one thing about a boss, or one thing about a king don't need beta males and beta females. We're not a hungry type of people like that. We're not thirsty. We're not reaching out for people to come on our panels. I'm good. I'm going to get the views. I don't have nothing to worry about. So I wanted to just address that. So let me screen share this. So we're going to get into the debate. And I want you to listen to the coonery that comes out of this clown. So here's the second half. So let's get right into it.
He believed in a system, in a teaching that cleaned his life up. And it's unfortunate because people who don't live the same standard Malcolm lived, but they'll claim Malcolm or they'll claim Khaled, but in reality, they are the same niggas that Malcolm and Khaled condemned. But they want to grab their name because they are not here to tell you, you don't represent me. You's a nigga. You not me. Malcolm was clean. Malcolm was from made into a dead position to a living standard that now, even in his death, he still talked about, not because of Malcolm Little, but because of Master Farad Muhammad, because of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because of Minister, well, not Minister Farrakhan, but because of the teachings that he received. That's why he is a God, even now. So who did, when Malcolm started to lie about sleeping with underage girls, who did he go to? Where did he go? He went to white people. He went to.
Now you see, this is where I don't understand. There were white interviewers that interviewed him while he was in the nation. Let me understand this, because I want this peanut head Charlie Brown looking bastard. I want him to explain to me like a 2-year-old. You didn't have no problem sending him to white folks when he was in the nation. When he was in the nation, he was around white people. White people, he was on a lot of talk shows and stuff like that, and white people was talking to him. Now that you kicked this man out, because he was kicked out, he didn't leave voluntarily, you kicked this man out. White people want to interview him, want to know what happened. He's going to explain what happened. Ain't nothing changed. So now he went to white people now. But when y'all was sending him to white people for interviews, you didn't have a problem with it, bozo. This debate has nothing to do with Malcolm X. I want my audience and people to understand this. This had nothing to do with Malcolm. But Farrakhan, the biggest #1 traitor, betrayed his teacher, which was Malcolm X. He betrayed him. He didn't stand by Malcolm. He didn't stand by Malcolm. And he was under Malcolm. He was not under, because you go by rank. There's a rank you follow. Farrakhan should not have went over Malcolm X. Once Malcolm X told him, look, this is what he's doing. This is what Elijah Muhammad is doing. Farrakhan should have been loyal to his teacher. But Farrakhan used the opportunity to take Malcolm's place. The only reason why Farrakhan is the way he at, because he could say, hey, I was under Malcolm. The debate was not about Malcolm X. But you try to use Malcolm. But this B-Rap piece of garbage used Malcolm as a scapegoat. Don't want to talk about Farrakhan and him posing and kissing white people in the mouth and all that. Oh, you don't want to talk about that. You're going to talk about Malcolm X doing a couple of interviews with white folk. This is the nonsense. This is the stupidness that he brings up. He avoid the photos. He avoid the photos. He avoid all the information I put out there. And the only thing this garbage dude could sit here and talk bad about Malcolm X. How pathetic. There was information that Malcolm X put out he didn't learn from Elijah Muhammad. Let's keep that clear. There was information that he didn't learn. Like Malcolm X said, he said the Nation of Islam don't even mention about Africa. He said, I mentioned that. They don't even want to have nothing to do with Africa. There was information that Malcolm had to instill in black folks that the Nation of Islam did not teach him. What are you talking about? But as long as you listen to clowns like this, this is what you're going to get. Misinformation.
White people and people to the image of black people and begin to in fact treasonous. And if any of y'all don't understand that, then you are fucked up in the mind, because you know you have people that traded on you and went to whoever after known. Now let's take it from this position. Let's say that these women were underage teenage secretaries, right? Let's say that they were. And Malcolm was this good moral man. As a good moral man, your job is not to go to the enemy of your people and say something. Your job is to deal with it. Whichever justice law system you have, you deal with it. But Malcolm didn't do that. If he was morally right, he went to the enemy and told
Now, I just played you the video. He read the autobiography about Malcolm X. Malcolm X went to Elijah Muhammad. I even showed the clip. And what did Elijah Muhammad say? He said that you knew about the prophecy that I must do. Even Farrakhan has said this about this prophecy. What lies that Malcolm has said? When Elijah Muhammad himself has said it, he said, I must plant my seed in fertile soil. In other words, I must put my babies out there. I must get women pregnant. He didn't say I must have more wives. He did not say that, family. Malcolm even said, he said, look, I did not want to say anything in the beginning because people that listen to me, I didn't want them to become dirty all over again and leave the Nation of Islam. It was that scumbag, Elijah Muhammad, the biggest traitor, Elijah Muhammad, the pedophile, Elijah Muhammad, put Malcolm in an embarrassing situation. But what do you expect from a piece of shit that listened to a slave owner, Wallace Muhammad, that he called master? Even Wallace Muhammad said, look, I don't deserve those type of titles, but why are you giving me these grand titles? Even Elijah Muhammad's son said, yo, he's a white man. You said that he's a devil, but he's a white man. Wallace Muhammad is a white man. Why are you pushing me into this? Why are you making me say these things? He didn't care. He avoided all that. This dude spent too much time on Malcolm X. The debate was not about Malcolm. Because if that was the debate, I would have said Malcolm X, did the Nation of Islam kill Malcolm? Did this something to Malcolm X? Yes or no? It would have been a whole new title. But since he wants to go there, he's not telling you the whole story. Because he went to the source. Malcolm went to the source and put this man in the most embarrassing situation. So according to him, according to this nutcase, he want Malcolm to roll with it. Shut your mouth, roll with it. If he wants to sleep with 16 and 19 girls, the age of 19 girls, it was obvious it was teenagers. So Malcolm knew this man was wrong. And when Malcolm realized he didn't want to be a part of that, he'd been loyal to a corrupt organization. But what do you expect? That most of these ministers or whatever come from violence, criminals. It was a criminal organization. And as far as I'm concerned, it should have been shut down by the United States government, by the white man. Because the Nation of Islam had no power. Because if you're not going to do right for our people, then it should be demolished. I didn't benefit for the Nation of Islam. When I was hungry, the Nation of Islam did not feed my family. You bozos, Nation of coons, you bow tie wearing piece of garbage. When I was hungry, the Nation of Islam had their door closed on Christmas Day and Thanksgiving Day. They didn't give a damn how my family ate. But we don't want to talk about that. Thank God for certain Christian churches. Thank God for that. Let's continue.
Another tape on here where the FBI comes to Malcolm before he makes his switch to go be a snitch and a liar. And the FBI was questioning him. Brother Craig, please pull that tape up. The FBI questions Malcolm X.
Just a second.
Now, I'm assuming he's going to pull this tape. Like I said, it's been a while since I saw this. There's no way. That's already been explained. The FBI came to see they can get, because they knew the rift between him and Elijah Muhammad. He gonna bring up this idiot gonna bring up a recording that Malcolm X recorded. He brings up a recording that Malcolm X recorded. The FBI is famous for recording people. But when it was done to them, they didn't like it. They didn't like it. And if you saw the Who Murdered Malcolm X documentary, one of the FBI guys that said, that former FBI guy, he said, look, I didn't know we was being recorded. And Malcolm X didn't fall for it. He wanted to show and prove. You see how dirty these people were. And Malcolm X didn't fall for the trick. But the FBI already had top informants in the NOI, and Farrakhan was one of them. You notice he don't mention, you notice? You notice he don't mention Farrakhan. He never mentioned Farrakhan. He never said Farrakhan was a traitor. I even asked this crab dude, I said, why did your leader Farrakhan got rid of Khalid Muhammad? You know what he said? Well, I don't know, brother. I just don't know. I don't know why he did. What do you mean you don't know? You know everything else. You claim you know everything else. And even Khalid Muhammad said, he said, well, I spoke everything I said. I got it from you, Farrakhan. I got it from you. Why did you kick me out? Everything that you taught me, I'm just regurgitating what you taught me. So who's a real traitor? The debate, and I want to say this again, the debate was not about Malcolm. And he used that time to talk about Malcolm. He did not talk about the wrongs that Farrakhan had did, which I had showed. He spent too much time talking about Malcolm X. The debate was not about Malcolm. He was wrong for that.
FBI.
And why he's pulling that you this was against integration. Rights should.
There you have it. You heard what he said, right? He said, oh, that was a civil rights issue. So what the hell is the Nation of Islam's purpose? I want a B-Rab to tell me what was your purpose besides separation, which y'all wasn't separated because you was in this country. You was in this country. Even that sellout pedophile even said, oh, we feel bad that our president JFK got assassinated. So you wasn't separated. You wasn't separated. What is the purpose of the NOI? What is your purpose besides cleaning black folks up? What is the purpose? You got trained. You did all this stuff. What was the purpose, B-Rabs? Because I know there's a lot of suckers that think like him. What was the purpose? I thought the purpose was to protect us. Oh, now it's a civil rights issue? And even when the cops was kicking their ass and murdering them, they still didn't do nothing about it. When Malcolm X wanted revenge, Elijah Muhammad told him to step down, don't do nothing. What was the purpose of your organization, B-Rab? Can anybody tell me? I want B-Rabs to come over and tell me what was the purpose. Because if you're not here to protect African people, then what was the purpose besides cleaning it up? And if I'm concerned, you did not clean them all the way because y'all was still doing the dirty. Y'all was still doing dirty work. Women were still prostituting in the nation. Yeah, women were still giving up the panani in the nation. You still had murderers. You still had homosexuals in the nation. You had pedophiles in the nation, like Elijah Muhammad was a pedophile. So what was your purpose? So our babies are not important. Our babies are not important. You allowed to kill young children, and you okay with that? Oh, that's not our problem. What? According to African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child, and I would take it further. It takes a village to not only to protect, but not only to raise, but protect a child. Not only it raised, but it's supposed to protect a child. Shout out to James Gibb. How you going, James? Big James in the house. What's good, James? What's good, Big James? Shout out to you, man. Hold up. But we gotta stop this madness. We gotta stop this. The sickness of Black folks is just unbelievable. So our young children, our babies are not important. Oh, that was a civil rights issue. What? Wow. Wow. This man don't care nothing about us. This is the reason why he's so angry. And let me tell you this, you will always know a scumbag just the way how they live. These people are living in small apartments. These people are living in corrupt homes. This man is a bum. When I was out of work, I never forget this. When I was laid off in 2019, I told him, I said, I'm laid off, man. They laid me off. He never asked me, hey, brother, do you want me to give you some money to hold you over for a couple of months? He never said that. The only thing he said was, well, I'm gonna see somebody from where your city, they hook you up with a job. No. And he still haven't done it because he don't know nobody in my city. The only person that looked out for me, that asked me if I needed money, was Brother Bakari. Shout out to my brother Bakari. Shout out to the King, Brother Bakari, once again. Shout out to Brother Bakari once again, because he was the only person that said, do you need some money to hold you over for a couple of months? The crack baby that I knew for 13 years, he didn't say it either. He didn't say, yo, you want me, because he liked to flash his money on YouTube, but he never said, yo, you want me to give you a couple of hundred so I can hold you over for a couple of months? The crack baby didn't do nothing either for me. The hobo piece of garbage, the host, didn't do nothing for me when I was laid off. But they got the nerve to run their mouth. These clowns got the nerve to run their mouth. Where were you? You claim that you love black folks, but where were you when I needed help? The only person that looked out for me was Brother Bakari. And I only told Brother Bakari, I said, no, I'm good. Because I had severance pay to come in, I had severance, and I had unemployment at the time. And they hold me for a couple of months until I found another gig. But just the fact that my brother had my back, I was good. Salute to Brother Bakari. When this bum-ass dude got kicked out of his house because his wife, his so-called fake wife, kicked him out, he ran to Brother Bakari for money. But he want to run his mouth. That's why we got to separate from the real from the fake. This garbage don't give a damn about our babies. There's one thing about the RBG. We don't play that. Because we're not thinking about no civil rights and all that crap. We're not thinking about none of that. We think about principle. There should have been a principle there. Those are our children. So what's the purpose of having a Nation of Islam then? What was your purpose? What was your purpose? They don't have a purpose. The Nation of Islam do not have a purpose. They never did. And he told on himself throughout the debate that he didn't care about black folks. Their whole thing is, well, we want to clean black people. We want to clean every black person up. That's all that they want to talk about.
Should have done. Because many people died, but none. When the police got with the FOI, we did fight and we did kill. There was in California, you research it, I think it's called the Zebra Killers. A black Muslim was going around and they couldn't figure out what he was doing. It's a black Muslim going around killing white people, just taking their ass out. So when you said
that's not true, I never heard that before. Only person I knew who was doing that was Colin Ferguson. Look him up, Colin Ferguson, the railroad shooter, a black man, African man. I don't care where he's from. He was from Jamaica. I don't care where he's from. He was a black man, and he did it. He did it, and he was no Muslim. I don't know about no zebra killer. I don't know about that. He did not pull that up. So because he did not pull it up, it did not exist. And because he mentioned it, it don't exist because he did not pull that information up. The only person who did that was Colin Ferguson. He didn't even say the person's name who was doing the pa 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 pa. He didn't even say the person's name who was doing the pa 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 pa. Who was this pa 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 pa? He didn't even say the person's name. Who was he? You say he was a black Muslim. How did you know? So basically what you're telling us that you're a terrorist organization. You're a terrorist group. You're a terrorist. You're an Islamic terrorist. Colin Ferguson did what he did because of racism. Because racism drove him crazy. He's not the only one. Nat Turner went crazy and snapped and started slaughtering white slave owners because of racism and slavery. Because slavery and racism go hand in hand. You got the Mormons, you got these white Mormons thinking black people are the reason why they skin complexion, the reason why we got because we have darker skin is because we are cursed. This is what they used to believe. And most of the time they still believe it. The majority of white folks still believe that we are cursed. And we'll play on that bullshit. I'm not cursed. Black means divine. Marcus Garvey knew his history, and that's why he kept saying it. Black is divine. Has nothing to do with race. Race is a political term. Let's continue.
And let me say this. I'm not saying serial killer killing white folks that's to applaud. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying when we out of ignorance say that we don't kill nobody except black people, or nobody except black people, that's a goddamn lie. The police in New York City to this day, and you should know, are still angry that the Nation of Islam got away from the police. When they fight. Play the clip, dear brother.
Is this the right one? Malcolm X with the FBI.
Yes,
is there
sir.
a particular place you want me to
just started. We're not going to hear all of it, but I just want to give people what Malcolm was thinking when he had his thinking cap on properly. Can you play that?
Okay, yes, sir, because you have 2 minutes, 40-something seconds left. I just wanted to make you aware.
With the FBI, you have a couple minutes, like talking? No, a couple minutes. Your name is Beckwith, right? And your name is Fulton. Right. Which New York. There's only one here. It's probably what you assume we came for, to obtain any information you want to give us about the Muslims. I don't assume anything. No. That's a very general statement on my part, but as you know, we follow the activities of the Muslims as best we can. But we're always looking for new avenues of information, and who better than the head of the Muslims, at least up to a month ago or something.
How's your suspension status?
No one knows but Mr. Muhammad. You have to ask him.
You're still in the status of now. I mean, you're not working out or teaching out at all.
Well, I'm still under the suspension.
That's what I
That's a temporary thing.
He's the only one who can give out any information. I couldn't say anything beyond what he has said.
Yeah, I think he has said that. It's a temporary system. I'll be frank with you, one of the reasons we picked this particular time to contact you is because of this suspension.
The suspension was brought about by my own doing.
Yeah, exactly. But who knows what was in your mind when you did receive the suspension? In other words, bitterness could have entered into it. It would not be illogical for someone to have spent so many years doing something than be suspended.
No, it should make him stronger because it makes him realize that law applies to the law in
30 seconds.
as well as those who are under.
Stop it real quick. That was of Malcolm talking to the FBI, and Malcolm was still in his right mind, and he wouldn't go and start telling white folks. He knew the same fucking information. It wasn't a secret. It wasn't a secret. You have to understand what made Malcolm go over the line, what made him go over the net, so that you can understand why Malcolm himself said that as he just said, that his discipline, he has to accept it because he was operating outside of the law. And that's one thing that Negroes don't understand. The Nation of Islam is guided by law, lawless. Yes,
right.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Okay. Yes, indeed. That concludes round 2. Now for round 3, this would be the engagement round, to where you two brothers can just ask each other questions, go back and forth. As long as there's no personal attacks. As we said, in the beginning, in the introduction, to where you two brothers can engage with each other. This will be a 30-minute round to where you two brothers can question each other and just go heads up, no holds barred.
Okay, I have a question. But first of all,
let me start the.
I'm sorry, go. Okay.
Yes, sir. Let me start the timer. Okay, we will begin right now on the clock.
Okay. Now, I'm just going to show you this clip with Barack Obama real quick.
Okay.
Back to the question, but I think there are other things we can do to gain some equality that doesn't exist in this. If you're in Charleston, than any other place in America. What is the conceivable for there more than really no explanation to have somebody?
Let's try to get to Barack Obama.
I think the reparations we need right here in South Carolina is investment, for example, in our schools. I did a town hall meeting in Florence, South Carolina, in an area called the Corridor of Shame. They've got buildings that students are trying to learn in that were built right after the Civil War. And we've got teachers who are not trained to teach the subjects they're teaching in, high dropout rates. We've got to understand that there are corridors of shame all across the country. And if we make the investments and understand that those are our children, that's the kind of reparations that are really going to make a difference.
Now, see, I'm gonna have to stop you right. I have to stop right there. I'm a little disgusted because he didn't really answer the damn question. That wasn't the question. The right question was, do he feel that reparations, to give reparations to Black people here in America? That's pretty much a yes or no question. Now, Farrakhan, supported this man, this mixed breed who has white blood in him. He didn't support the sister Cynthia McKenzie, who was for the Green Party, who was for reparation for her people, who was a congresswoman. See, this is where I get disgusted because Black women are being ignored. Powerful Black women being ignored. You talking about congresswoman? Barack Obama was ignorant. This man, he wasn't even qualified to be president. We all know that. So, Maurice, I want to address some things
that you said about why is it that I'm starting to see things like why the nation coming integrated now? What's going on with that? Could you answer that question for me?
Why are we allowing Latinos in the Nation of Islam?
Yes. I will. If it's supposed to be for Black people, why are you allowing other races of people in this organization?
Okay, very good. And before I get to that, I want to say something.
I want to say this. And now watch, he flip-flops. Now we saw Barack Obama standing next to we saw Farrakhan, Louis Farrakhan standing next to Barack Obama. He supported Barack Obama. He knew what Barack Obama was about. Now this man sat there and lied, saying that he's for the Black woman. All African ascendant women, shout out to Cynthia McKenzie. I voted for her, donated to the system. This is what RBGs is about. We are connected to history more than anything. I'm not saying we can be religious, but our religious is personal. We know what's important. But he turns around, he said, oh, we give our women this. Now you heard him say he did all this talking. But you co-sign with a mixed breed who, number one, who's not an African ascendant. He wasn't a Black man, but because he reminds you of this Farad Muhammad, because you believe that he came from a Black father and a white mother, you push that on Black folks. This is the connection that you have. But when you're dealing with an all-African woman like Cynthia McKenzie, you wasn't by her side. And there was no pictures of Farrakhan and Cynthia McKenzie. And he turns around and says, oh, yeah, Farrakhan, he supported Cynthia McKenzie. But there's no pictures. There's no documentation. There's nothing. You saw Farrakhan standing next to. So that gives you that in your mind, you know that this man supported Barack Obama heavy, even though Barack Obama did not give a damn about our people. He didn't give a damn about our people. And then he flip-flops again when I brought up about the Mexicans joining the Nation of Islam. I said, why are y'all joining? I thought y'all believed in separation. If you claim that the nation was for African people in the United States, why are you integrating other races of people in the nation? You claim that you're about separation. What happened?
That you don't know in Atlanta where jet minister made every effort in Atlanta and help her in her election. So we are there going to get.
There was no pictures. So so he's saying he met Cynthia McKenzie.
They know each other very well.
Are there pictures? Are there pictures?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lecture on YouTube where the minister is in Atlanta.
That's another lie, because I have done my research. There's no photos of Farrakhan and Cynthia McKinney ever even meeting. That's another lie that he tells. There's no photos of that. Where's the evidence? But I'm not the one. That was his responsibility to prove that. I asked him, I said, are there photos? He should have said, yes, I can prove it to you right now. That was his responsibility to pull it up. I tried to look for those pictures. I couldn't find one picture of Sidney McKenzie and Farrakhan. And no photos. I tried. I didn't see none. But you could tell that he was lying. Yeah, they really, no, you're lying. And he should have said, I can prove it to you right now. Let me screen share this. So he only screen shared two things. Didn't have nothing to do other than the debate. He spent too much time on Malcolm X. The debate was not about Malcolm. Because he has so much hatred for that man, you want to make it seem like, oh, he just went astray and all that. So you knew this piece of garbage knew what happened. And I'm so glad they came out with the Who Killed Malcolm X documentary. And even when that came out, he didn't want to believe it. And they showed documented. And this is before the documentary came out. I was already telling him. This is before the documentary came out. And I done my research and showed him. The documentary was just a confirmation. That's all it was. It was a confirmation for me. Let's continue.
And I'm talking about the whole thing. I want to be there. It wasn't an option. It wasn't if you make it, it was you better be there. So we had to go. And we had to go and canvass door to door for Cynthia McKinney. So, you know, the minister has been very, very good to Cynthia McKinney. Very, very good. Now, with Barack Obama, he's not responsible for what Obama did. You know, hell, I voted for Barack Obama the first time. So a lot of us did that. Now, back to your question about the Latinos. You're not familiar with the lessons of the nations of Islam, correct? No, you're not.
No.
Right. Because our lessons teach us that the Latinos, they are our brothers and sisters. They are natural people as well. So because that they are natural people.
That's the reason why I said no. He's confusing me. Oh my God, this guy is a joke. He said his organizations deal with separation. Remember he said that? This is not the first time he asked me the same fucking question. He said, do you know what we're about? We're about separation. Then he asked me the same question. Then he turns around and says, well, the Latinos are our people as well. Wait a minute. This is supposed to be the African Descendant organization. You can look it up. They use the word African Americans. They didn't say nothing about no Mexican American. They didn't say about no European Americans. They didn't say they said it's strictly for African American. And their whole thing is separation. So it makes you wonder who they separating from. The white man, only the white man, not anybody else, only the white man. But they want their women, and they accept the message. They accept the brown man and his women. They accept the Asian man and his women. You're dealing with a coon. This is the reason why I cut him off. And I'm glad that we're not cool no more. He don't want to see me in the streets. And he not better not come to my city because he know I'll pull up on his punk ass. He knows that. That's why he don't pop. That's why he don't show up in my city. Let this bitch boy come in my city. I will pull up on him. And I will videotape it. And let the world know how much a bitch boy that this clown is. And he knows that. He knows how I get down. I saw him in Philly. Was no smoke. Where was the smoke? What's up? I was ready to get down. He put Nadal under the bus. So I thought Nadal was popping shit. And I told him in the car. I said, yo, it might go down with me and Nadal. It might go down with me and Nadal. He got real scared. He said, oh man, but then I noticed Nadal, kept wanted to make peace. I'm like, yo, what's going on here? Wait. Something wasn't right about that picture. But he mentioned Nadal, talking about Nadal, made it seem Nadal had a problem with me. So I'm in the car while he driving. I'm like, yo, it might go down with me and Nadal. I'm just letting you know. He say something stupid, I'm popping off. I'm popping off. That's it. I'm gonna punch it right in his face. It's gonna go down, and I'm going to win. That's how much energy that was. I was ready for that. I was ready for that smoke. I didn't come for play. But Nadal want to make peace. I'm like, wait a minute, Nadal don't want no smoke. So that's when I realized, oh, you put Nadal and you made it seem like Nadal had smoke for me. You put Nadal under the bus. That shit could have got ugly. And Nadal could have been like, and Nadal probably wondering why this person got an attitude, because I got an attitude with Nadal in the beginning. I had an attitude with Nadal. Nadal was like, yo, I said, yeah, I know who you are. I said, and I shouldn't have done that to that dude like that. But I'm listening to this scumbag. That's why he was nervous. Let's continue.
People, they are Semitic people. They are part of us. So as far as the Nation of Islam goes, they are our people as well. So that's Islam. You will not see people in the Nation of Islam because they're our people. They're not. They are Semitic people. So the Nation of Islam, what we got to remember is that most people think that the Nation of Islam is a Black nationalist organization. Is that
let me screen share something. I want to make this perfectly clear. Let me screen share something. Let me screen share something. It is a black nationalist movement, or I'm sorry, it is a black nationalist organization. Let me screen share this. This is where I'm talking about when you screen share your work. This is pseudoism. I want my family to watch. Hold up. Let me stop screen sharing this. I'm going to show y'all something. Hold up. Hold up. I'm going to show you this. He said, oh, you thinking it's a black nationalist organization. It is. What does that say? The Nation of Islam, NOI, is a religious and political organization. Not only supposed to be religious, but it's supposed to be a political organization founded in the United States by Wallace Farad Muhammad in a white man, by the way, in 1930. A black nationalist movement. Let me see if I can highlight. Let me see if it comes up on here. A black nationalist movement. The NOI focused its attention on the African diaspora. Had nothing to do with Mexicans. Had nothing to do with Asians. So I don't know why they keep saying Asiatic. He did not know his organization. He said separation. He also said in the thing, he said, "Oh, we don't have nothing to do about the Arab way of life." He also said that do not mix Arab with Islam. I knew it was a black nationalist organization. That's what it's supposed to be. But according to him, it's not a black. I mean, I'm going to repeat what he says. So I want y'all to see this. Matter of fact, let me blow this up. Let me blow this up. Let me blow this up. I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to see this. Family, we have to be careful who we listen to. Information. This is the world. We are living in a world of information. There's too much documentation for people to ignore. This is what happens when you don't screen share your work. So anything that he says is false, is fake, everything that he says, he was just making up. Everything this B-Rap said, he was making up. I already knew that. I said, that's what I thought. I said it. That's what I thought. But you saying there's something else? Did I get it wrong? But this is the information here. We gotta, family, we gotta do research. Do your research. Get your information. Like one B-Rab, he always do like something wrong with his little dirty fingers. Get your information. Scholarship is important. These B-Rabs are pseudo. I don't fuck with them. I don't like them. And they give our people pipe dreams. So let's continue.
So no, you're not.
No.
Right. Because our lessons teach us that the Latinos, they are our brothers and sisters. They are natural people as well. So because that they are natural people, they are us, they are indigenous, they are people, they are part of us. So as far as the Nation of Islam goes, they are our people as well. So that's why you will see Latinos in the Nation of Islam. You will not see white people in the Nation of Islam, but you will see Latinos in the Nation of Islam because they're our people. They're not, they are Semitic people. So the Nation of Islam, what we got to remember is that most people think that the Nation of Islam is a black nationalist organization. Is that what you thought as well?
Well, that's what I always, according to Elijah Muhammad.
No, Elijah Muhammad never called us a black nationalist organization.
It was supposed to be a black organization. Am I right?
No, sir. The Nation of Islam, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says that they call us nationalists, but Islam is not national. Islam is universal. So that's why we teach that this whole planet belongs, not just one continent, just one piece of damn thing. So that's why people have to go into our lessons. And when you go into our lessons, you'll find out what we teach and who we are. Islam is universal, not national. The whole damn thing belongs.
So y'all integrationists, am I right?
No, we're not integrationists.
So how's it, why you said that it's universal? What does that mean?
Can
white people join? Can white people join?
No.
Why not? Why not?
White people cannot join.
Why not?
Why not? Because they are not permitted to join. That's why. And I'll go even further.
Who was that white guy with the bow tie?
I don't know who the fuck that is, but he's in the Nation of Islam. I mean, any goddamn fucker can put on a bow tie.
But he was standing next to it, and I remember. Am I right? Why? How is this white man? Again, this is where it's confusing.
It's not confusing because we're at war.
Yeah, but he was standing next to an NOI member.
Can you bring the picture back up? Let's show the picture.
Okay, here we go.
See, because our people, we got to remember we're at war.
I understand that.
And part of war is what? What is part of war? War is deceit, correct?
Okay.
Okay. So if war is deceit, so you have to trick people and make them think something that's not.
You see
now, look at this. Right now, this looks like maybe at one of the gatherings.
Right. So that was during the Million Man March, the last one.
No, Million Family March had to be.
Family March, okay.
Yeah, because good to be in the Million Man March. One, just looking at how he's dressed, and because he's standing behind an FOI that ain't even looking at him, you know, and you can look at the sister in the picture. Whoever took the picture is definitely like, what the fuck is this? We don't even though he got a red bow tie on, he doesn't have the little, he got a white handkerchief in there. It would be a red handkerchief that go with the red bow tie. You don't see a red bow tie and a white handkerchief. That's not the dress standard of the Nation of Islam. It'll be the red with the red. The handkerchief and the bow tie.
I gotta stop him right there again. How would he know? Have anybody saw Bozo Muhammad with a red bow tie and a red handkerchief? Now I know his turf-faced friend wear a bow tie, and he has last time I checked, he had a white handkerchief on him. He never wore that. Bozo Muhammad never wore any type of bow tie or any color. He never wore that. You only saw him with this yellow suit on, standing next to a Turkish flag. That's the closest I saw him wear a suit. But he never wore a bow tie. He don't know the dress code. Because you know why he don't know the dress code? Is because he's not a real FOI. He's a pretender. Because when you go, you have to be trained. This is the reason why he used the N-word. This is the reason why this piece of garbage, you know, say all this, use the N-word and curses a lot. Find out he was born a bastard. His mother was a whorish woman. His mother was a whorish woman. His father was a pimp, a player. This is what he told me. This is what he told me. His mother was a whore, and his father was a player. And that's how he became. That's how he was born. I didn't say that. That's what he said. That's what he told me. His mother was a whore. His father was a player. So he ain't right. That's what I'm saying. You got to do background checks with his people. You can't go by because people might sound good or they look good. Now, he just told a big lie, talking about the NOI wasn't a black national organization. And I pulled up, I screen shared the information. And it says it's supposed to cater to the African diaspora. So it's not just black folks in the United States. It's supposed to do these supposed to be Pan-African organization. So if a man from the islands want to join the nation, they're supposed to accept him. Hey, they accept Farrakhan. He's from St. Kitts. It's not just a United States thing, what they call a Black American thing. That's nonsense. You got it all wrong. This man is an FBA scumbag. Let's continue.
They're sold together. Okay, so idiots don't know that, but we know that. Mm-hmm. Anybody can buy a bow tie and put it on. That don't make you what the bow tie represent. So we got to understand that propaganda is a main tool enemy to divide and conquer. So if they can get our people to attack the only organization that's strong on this for us, that makes it easier for them. So we're being victimized through propaganda. We're using the enemy's propaganda to attack. I mean, you made it very clear with the propaganda from the Quran that you gave. You made it very clear. You made it very clear with this picture. You made it very clear. Okay, let's look at that, because I have a picture of me standing with the governor of Tennessee, right? So after I whooped their ass, the governor came down and he took a picture with me. Did the minister change his position on white people? Did he stop teaching that the white man is Satan? No. So with Eminem standing with a man that's called white people all these names, and Eminem still stand there with him, it ain't the minister that you should be looking at. It is Eminem and saying, why are you bowing to this man? Oh, yes. Because would you stand with a KKK and take his picture after he called you a nigger and set out that they want to kill you? Would you stand with the KKK?
No, I would not.
No, you would not. Why?
First of all, I won't be taking pictures with no Eminem.
No, why wouldn't you stand with a KKK?
He's my enemy.
Because of what?
Because he don't like me. He said a lot of mean things, a lot of racial things. He's a racist. He's
right. Exactly. So the same thing, that because you're a man of self-respect and you know your history and you know who you are, so you're not going to belittle yourself to stand with a KKK dude. Don't do that. But Eminem stood for Farrakhan. Who he is.
Let me tell you something. Farrakhan became a celebrity. Farrakhan became a celebrity. He wanted to meet Eminem. Eminem did not want to meet Farrakhan. It was Farrakhan that wanted to meet Eminem. Farrakhan became a celebrity. He's the one that wanted to reach out to rappers and take pictures with rappers and all that stuff. He became a celebrity. Eminem didn't go out and reach out to Farrakhan. It was Farrakhan that wanted to take pictures. That's why you saw Eminem not smiling. But you saw Farrakhan cheesing. Why are you cheesing with a white boy, Eminem? Why are you cheesing? I thought you was about that life. But you see how he takes up for coons and coonettes, and he wants to take up for the enemy. Now he did this whole thing about, oh, we believe in separation. But then you said the Mexicans were a Semitic people. They don't want to talk about how the Mexican gangs are taking over black neighborhoods. Mexicans are killing us, calling us the N-word, but he's okay with that because he doesn't. He wants to talk about propaganda. That's all he was doing was propaganda throughout this debate. He lied to you about what the organization was about. I even proved that. The man's a liar. There's no picture with Farrakhan meeting up with Sidney McKinney. There's no proof of nothing that he said. There's none. I even showed the proof where you have the NOI protecting Jim Jones, who was a cult leader who murdered black people. But he says the white man is the enemy. What? What? The white man is the enemy, but you protect Jim Jones? And I didn't know that then until Brother Bakari told me that. Shout out to Brother Bakari again. We've been deceived, black people. We've been deceived.
Yes.
But why would he?
Them acknowledge because it's power.
He used the word. He was honored. He used the word. Look, hear me out. He said he was honored to meet this white guy, and he called Eminem his brother. Now, according to Elijah Muhammad, the white man is not your brother. Now, first of all, for one thing, here's what I'm a little disgusted about.
Okay, because I want to answer that question.
Because you're telling me in the beginning of this debate, you said the white man is the devil and he's the enemy. Now, first of all, if you really believe, that's why I say you use the word believe, right? Believe is something that you have doubt. That means that was some doubt. But here's the thing: if the white man's really, why would Farrakhan take pictures with all those white folks, arm around the mother-in-law, cheesing? If these people are devilish people, these are murderers, according to Elijah Muhammad. Why would you want to take pictures? But you call Malcolm a traitor. Now, I look at Farrakhan.
Okay. Now let's.
I'll give you a few minutes, but I just want to just get it out.
Okay.
Now I'm a real dude.
Right.
I'm not gonna take pictures with white folks and we cool like that. No. This is like you said, this is warfare.
Right.
If we at war, you don't take no pictures. You don't smile and grin and think everything's hunky-dory. Now I want you to explain that to me, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. So for Eminem, like we established, because me and you are the same, I wouldn't take no picture with no KKK and you wouldn't either. Right? Because then that would say that we're bowing to what they are, that we're acknowledging their truth by our presence, taking that picture with them. Eminem, Father Flager, the white pastor that you showed, Bill Clinton, because there's a picture with the minister in Clinton. Who else? John Ashcroft. There's a picture with him and the minister. Now, one part of this, it is they understand and respect what the minister, who he is and what he says. And they are in agreement with that because they understand the realities. It's like white people. They write to the messenger, can I be a member of the nation of Islam? I know I'm a devil. I know I'm a devil. But no. I welcome in the truth. So when you see Eminem know who the minister is, but he knows the minister is telling the truth, so he bows down to the truth. That's a signal to white people that, yeah, you call me a hater, you call me a racist, but I got the best of your kind. I was gonna sit there. It's just like when the governor of Tennessee picture with me and the governor of Tennessee, because I whooped their ass in Jackson, Tennessee. I beat their ass. And they came down and took the picture and rebuilt that black area that they refused to build. But I whooped their ass. That's a sign of respect. Yeah, you damn right. Because I'm the goddamn that's what that's teaching you.
Let me say this, family. Louis Farrakhan has no power. This is the reason why if Louis Farrakhan had power and he was showing his business and doing his thing, You think white folks like Eminem want to stand by someone? Louis Farrakhan is no threat. He's no threat. Now, if that was Khalid Muhammad, do you really think people like Eminem would take pictures with Khalid Muhammad? I never seen Malcolm X taking pictures with white folks. There's only one picture that you saw, and it wasn't like it was intentional. You did see Malcolm X and Castro. You could tell they was socialized or whatever, but it wasn't intentional. It wasn't like, oh, let's take a photo together. They just caught them together laughing or whatever the case is. But you never saw Malcolm X taking picture with white folks. You never saw Khalid Muhammad taking a picture with white folks. We got to be we gotta be real. And he talking about his experience. Now, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. He didn't show no evidence. He didn't show no pictures. I don't believe none of the thing he said. I already showed you that he was a liar. And any goofballs that say that he won this debate, that's a religious type of thinking. He didn't know anything about spirituality, because he believed in spookism. He believed in ghosts and goblins. I already explained what spirituality was. I even proved it by showing the picture. Picture is evidence. Spirituality means it's symbolic, something you could touch, feel, see. That's spirituality. I'm not going by no belief. He was the one saying he believed the white man's the devil. So I'm saying, well, what makes him the devil? What makes him a devil? Because I don't see it. And then he tried to make it seem that I'm saying all the white man's talking points and all this other stuff by putting out propaganda. I'm not putting out propaganda. This is evidence. This is pure facts. Handwritten stuff. And he can look, and I'm giving him information, but he can do his own research. But when you're dealing with religious fanatics like that, they don't believe in researching anything. They go by belief. Said the white man's the devil, but I see a minister kissing white people and holding hands with white folks. There's a contradictory there. That's what I'm saying. There's a doubt. Remember what I said about the doubt? About the word belief? Eminem wasn't bound down. Eminem didn't go to Farrakhan. Farrakhan went to Eminem. It was him that said he was honored. It was him. It was Farrakhan said he was honored to meet Eminem. It was him that called Eminem his brother, not the other way around. So I don't know what the hell he was talking about. I even read it. This bozo did a poor job, a very poor job defending the nation. Very poor job. He spent too much on Malcolm X. The debate was not even about Malcolm. I don't even know why he even brought up about him talking to the FBI. I don't even know why he brought that up. It has nothing to do with anything. I don't even know why he brought up the tape that Malcolm X was trying to send to Elijah Muhammad. I don't even know why he brought that up. That had nothing to do with anything. It really didn't. Because if you're going to tell the story, you need to tell the whole story.
Don't back down. Don't back down. You want them to respect you. You call them the devil to their goddamn face. Call them Satan to their face. And you don't back down from the truth. And they will bow to you because they understand you can't be bought. And they'll respect you. They'll respect you. The minister said they come to his house begging for help. If you go study Bill Clinton, when he was with the Monica Lewinsky, who got him out of that shit? It was Minister Farrakhan. Wrote him a letter, told him to go get preachers in the Rose Garden, and you, as an atonement, that for your sins, you confess, damn it, that you was wrong. And you asked everybody to atone for their wrong. And Bill Clinton did it. And it saved his ass from being impeached. Yes, sir.
Craig, how many minutes we got?
Okay, at this point in time, you have 13 minutes left for this.
Okay, cool. Let me get this in real quick.
I didn't get to ask no questions. I answered all your questions.
Okay.
I didn't get to ask any questions.
Go ahead. Ask me some questions.
Now, we already agreed that there's a difference between the Nation of Islam and Arab Islam. So I want to make sure that we are still in agreement, or that we're in agreement with the Civil Rights Movement. The Civil Rights Movement was teaching integration, correct?
No. It didn't start off at integrate. It didn't start off well, yes. Well, as far as equal opportunity, I don't think it was teaching integration at first. It was talking about as far as equal opportunity.
The Civil Rights Movement. I'm not talking about the freedom movement. I'm talking about the Civil Rights Movement.
Yes, Civil Rights Movement, yes. Now it's
integration. Very good. So they wanted integration. The 4 little girls that died in the church, all of that organization was for integration.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you're not for integration, correct?
No, I'm not.
Right. So let me ask you, would you put yourself out there to go find a white man who blew up a church for you to go deal with that, and then the people that you're quote unquote fighting for gonna turn your ass in?
Echo.
Yeah.
It might be because both of you, the mics, just, I just want everybody to be real bad. I think that's coming. All right.
Let me
Okay. So the question I'm asking, since you don't believe in integration, you believe in separation, would you stop doing what you're doing if you knew that at the end of the day, those who want integration gonna find their way over to you anyway, but you gotta continue to build so when they get there, they'll have something already established? Or would you stop building to go fight over in the integration camp and then, have your ass dealt with by them over there? What would you do?
Sir, brother Guy, asked your question.
I'm sorry. Well, first of all, if you're an organization that's supposed to be fighting against racism,
no, then the Nation of Islam is not about that. Let's stay with what it is about. We already established what it's about. Let's stay with that. So what do it?
Well, first of all,
is it yes or no question?
Well, according to what you're saying, I don't know. That's a tricky
question. You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't, because you take a long going over there, and what they're building for those who believe in correct? You put yourself out. You then going to turn your ass. And integration. You believe in separation. Would you stop doing what you're doing if you knew that at the end of the day, those who want integration gonna find their way over to you anyway, but you gotta continue to build so when they get there, they'll have something already established. Or stop building to go back integration.
Sir, brother Guy. He asked your question.
I'm sorry. Well, first of all, if you're an organization that's supposed to be fighting against racism,
no, then the Nation of Islam is not about that. Let's stay with what it is about. We've already established what it's about. Let's stay. So do it.
Well, first of all,
is it yes or no question?
Well, according to what you're saying, I don't know. That's a tricky question.
You know you would.
See, that what you call a dumbass question. You asked me what I'm for integration. Now, I understand what the civil rights movement was about because it was supposed to be about equal opportunity. It was supposed to be for equal opportunity. If I'm paying taxes, I deserve the same type of privilege just like everybody else. It's not about, marrying other races of people or, or whatever to have you. If I'm applying for a job, it doesn't matter who owns it, who runs it. If I'm fit for that job, I should be able to get hired just like anybody else. That's what was really about. I'm okay with that. But with him, he tried to switch it in. Now, I'm for separation too. Now we could use civil rights as a tool to get what we want. I don't mind that, but I am for it. I'm for separation. But I'm also for, if you mess with one of ours, we're gonna mess with you. If you kill one of ours, we're gonna deal with you. I believe now he's supposed to read the Bible because he's a Bible thumper. He forgot about he forgot to the whole thing of what was they say, the tooth for a tooth or something like that. What's they say? Forgot what they say. But he forgot when hey, if you do something to me, I'm gonna do something for you. Let me see if I can find that. Let me see if I can find that. Let me see the correct. He forgot about an eye for an eye. He forgot about the whole eye for an eye. What happened to that? That's what I don't understand. The Nation of Islam was already established. Because it was supposed that he claimed the Nation of Islam is not there to protect African people. So what's the point having an organization and it's not going to protect your own? What is the point? So it becomes a dumbass church then. And I read to you, it says it's supposed to be a religious and political organization. Politics come with violence. Politics come with violence. What was the purpose of establishing this organization? Because those 4 little girls got killed in 63. They killed Malcolm in 65. So the organization was already established. The little girls got murdered by the KKK in 1963. The Nation of Islam, but the Nation of Islam didn't retaliate, but instead they made a move and killed Malcolm X in 1965. I want somebody to explain that to me. So he's asking me a dumbass question that has nothing to do with anything. And once again, the question was a stupid question. It was a stupid question. He's just asking questions, and then he's not even putting no thought of what he's asking me. Then he's cutting me off. No, let's stick with the Nation of Islam. So the nation is not built to do anything for black people. That's the thing.
Because you be dead fighting a fight that didn't even believe it. And that's not good.
Oh, let me turn my thing off.
All right, to engage each other, man, with that echo every time Maurice speaks.
So what we, and I'm gonna be quiet and I'll turn my mic off so you can ask another. But I just want us to be real when we analyze what we're looking at. Brother Guy would not go into that fight, because if he went into that fight, it'll be a strategic mistake. It would be a strategic mistake, and what he was building in terms of separation would not get off the ground, because he's losing lives now over in a fight that he did not agree with, in a way that he does not agree with. Believe in separation, that, and then they'll be able to help you where you are. That was a strategic move that, if you look at it on for real, it was the right thing. It hurt for all of us, for me even learning that the little girl, I wasn't even born then, but when I learned about it, that was, well, goddamn. But that wasn't on the Nation of Islam. That was on the men of that goddamn church, of that goddamn organization, because they were fucking faggots. They were afraid to go get that cracker and deal with it. That shit is on their hands, not ours. That's not on ours. I'll rest my mic. Go ahead, bro.
So I'm gonna ask you a question, and this is where it gets confusing, because I'm trying to follow you here. So as the Nation of Islam, are y'all for black people, or are you just for Muslims? Yes or no?
Yes, we are for black people.
So if you're for black people, and if somebody is too scared to fight, then if y'all claim that, if the nation is so claimed to be so soldier, y'all supposed to be all of this soldier, and y'all, I think, to me, that it should be up to the nation to come forward and start retaliation. Because that wasn't just the first incident. There's been many incidents that black people been attacked. And even Malcolm said that there's been many incidents that the nation did not engage. but they have no problem engaging in each other. Well, how about when black folks, I guess they were Muslims in the nation, or zealots, or whatever you want to call them, bombed Malcolm X's house with the baby, with his own babies in there. See, this is sickening into my stomach, where there's always these excuses, and I hate excuses. When you're dealing with warfare, there's no more talking. If I'm too scared to fight, if you're a man, then you say, you know what? I'll take it over. You move to the side. You get your ass. So again, war, somebody invade or somebody come to your house, invade your house, you're supposed to take action. There's no more. There's no rules. There's no rules in war. So I just feel.
Go ahead, God Nollywood. Go ahead, God Nollywood. Woo! Man, that guy, boy, I was on fire. I was on fire. Did you hear what I said? I said, there's no rules in war. Now, I asked him one question. I said, are you for black people or are you for Muslims? He said, I'm for black people. And I also said, if you know there are cowards who's afraid to fight, then you're supposed to fight for them. You claim that you're military. You claim you're militant. These are supposed to be militant brothers and sisters. What do you mean that's not your fight? But you claim you for black people. This is what I'm saying. I got him. I got him. I got him. I got him. He did all that talking. Then he said, oh, that's not our fight. So I asked him, I said, are you for black people or are you just for Muslims? He said, we for black people. You gotta listen to these religious fanatics. They don't know what they confuse. It's not about me. He's asking me what I would do. But if I'm part of an organization that's supposed to protect my people at any means, then I'm going to do that. You asking me what I would do. It's not about me. This is about the nation that you claim that you want to defend. These giving me curveball questions and all this other, giving me stupid ass curveball questions. It has nothing to do with anything. Or would you go out there and look for? I said, I don't know. Because 1 minute you're telling me, well, these people will turn on you if you do anything about it. Then damn. I don't want my own people to turn on me if I'm trying to fight for them. I don't even know why he asked me a dumbass question, because that's basically what he said. It's just stupid and dumb. Let's continue.
That in pass once again. And I just, and to me, in my opinion, and the evidence that I put out, that y'all say he's the devil, but I see Farrakhan taking pictures with devils, and even when Eminem calling out women bitches and hoes. Now, to me, I would be disgusted. I wouldn't even want to, and he knew that. He knew that. I would be so disgusted. I wouldn't even want to take pictures with that. For what? Show me one picture of Malcolm taking a picture with white folks cheesing. Or Khalid Muhammad. Maybe you got a picture. I don't know. Show me one picture. That's where you are.
Did you go and tell the police your arrogance? Because what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And I'm gonna be.
Let's do it like this. Okay. Mute your mic. And then guys, so ask Rhett question, then you just unmute real quick, brother guy. Yes, sir. And then mute back once he starts.
Now I'm going to and would do that to him, she would have crucified us all. And that's the truth. So what this time. So that's why we got to build to make it so. Do you
I understand. I've been around.
more time to engage with each other. Keep going.
Let me say what I say real quick. Nationalism.
I'm having technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on with my internet. It's like slow. I don't know if it's the weather, but the weather's nice. It's only 50 over here. I don't know what's going on. Let me try to do this again. I don't know. I hope it could play. I'm gonna have to go back a little bit. Okay.
All this inner fighting.
Right now. Just
Okay.
go. Okay, so cause see that echo.
Let me give me.
Okay, yes. So y'all go ahead and engage. You know, if you need 10 more minutes or something, this is off the timer now. So just go. Keep going.
Let me say what I gotta say real quick. The Nation of Islam been around since the 1930s to now. Chicago is still a war zone. There's no businesses. A lot of money has been Nation of Islam generated with a lot of money. Over $3 million. And you mean to tell me you couldn't take $1 million and say, you know what, let me go start building a grocery store for my people. Not just a Muslim. I guess that black, here's the thing, race is first. When a college for my people, so they don't have to go to the students or kids. Chicago should have been a productive capital of United States. I said, that's silly. You know,
So the Nation of Islam was started in 1933. That's 33 years. I don't see
Sorry about that. Just having these technical difficulties. I'm trying to play the video. Let me see if I could do it one more last time. Because I want y'all to really pay attention on what was happening here. And I don't think he understood what was the actual debate about. He said, "Would do if I had an organization like the Nation of Islam. No, we're going to war physically. We're going to war. So if that happens, if that happens, if law enforcement going to get involved and they want to go ahead up with us, then that's what's going to happen. You're not going to keep killing my people, and I'm just going to just stand by and allow it to happen. We did the marching. That didn't work. We did the protesting. That didn't work. And unfortunately, we're still doing that crap. They still have this ass box. And I'm just not with that. I'm just not with that. I'm just not with that. They still having us in this stupid ass box. Something's wrong with this thing. My connection on here is really I don't know what's going on with my. He's asking me what I do, and so he's asking me what I do, and I'm a type person. I'm not going to. I don't know why this thing. It's nothing. I don't think it has nothing to do with where I moved this to because my connection is really bad. I don't understand this. But it's not again. He trusts me. I already know what I was going to do. But then you're telling me, well, what happened if this happened, if that happened? He should have asked me, if you ran an organization like the Nation of Islam, what would you do? That would have been a logical answer, a logical question. Then I would have said, well, yeah, since I got the military, since I got the weapons, I'm going to go find the person who killed those 4 little girls. That's the question, because it was about Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. That's what the topic was about. It had nothing to do with what I would do. I'm only one man. I don't got nobody I could be like, I could really count on and be like, hey, let's go run up on these peckerwoods. And just like with him, he even said he wasn't going to do anything. But you talk like you're militant. You talk like you're militant. You talk like you're about that life. And then when people say, hey, let's go ride on these peckerwoods, and all of a sudden, nah. And that's the problem. So to me, I don't think he was really serious of anything that he said. Let me see if I can finish this. I really want to play this, but for some reason it's just. Let me see if I can play this. One second. All right, so let me see if I can play this video again. Stupid. It's been really there's a reason why I don't really like sometimes you got to go through all these videos and you got to see what exactly happened. But people got to really understand when you're dealing with a debate, you got to stick to the topic. You really got to stick to the topic. And let me see this. Trying to. All right, let me see if I can get this on here. Look at the history. Let's screen share this again. Let's try screen sharing this again. Let me. It's freezing, man. What's going on here? So I'm just gonna let it play. I'm not gonna scare it, but I'm just gonna let it play. Hopefully. Can't hear. So let me because this.
We got to admit we wrong, because you can't say, when I put all of us and say, look at this thing, again, the same scenario. You agree that it's the same scenario. And it's right when it comes to us, but it's wrong when it comes to the Nation of Islam. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not being right and exact. That's not being not true. It was the Nation of Islam not to get involved, because if it did, a lot of the advancements that we have now, we wouldn't have had. Now, you blame the Nation of Islam for the condition of Chicago. Nation of Islam don't control Chicago. How can you say the Nation of Islam teaches you A, B, C, you A makes sense. There's no drinking, there's no drugs, there's no fornication of dog, none of that shit. Now, our people who subscribe to the teachings of the Nation of Islam live their life the way they live it. Just like if you're saying the Nation of Islam is responsible for Chicago, then you must be responsible for the condition of the people on your street because you're there. That's not fair. Nobody said that they agree with what you're teaching on how you live your life. It would be wrong for me to say you're responsible for your city, and your city, the people in your city don't believe what you believe. So because they don't believe what you believe, they conduct their lives in that manner. Now, because I believe what I believe, I conduct it in a certain manner. You don't have members of the Nation of Islam being found in these situations in a certain manner. 5 o'clock, you need to be in the house, handle your business before the sun go down. We do it. I obey that curfew. When I get off work, I do my little running and I bring my ass straight home. That's it. I don't. That's how my son go whatever, but dad ain't going out. Those are the instructions that I was given, and those are the instructions for you in hell to throw the condition of Chicago on the Nation of Islam. We're not responsible for people who don't follow the things that, just like you can't be held responsible for the people in your city that don't follow RPG rules. That's what you represent, but they don't represent it. So you're responsible for their condition. But we all know that that is not proper. That's not right. Had up to do for themselves. Now, you agree that that's improper for you to say that.
My
answer is yes.
What's the question again? Was it improper?
Yes.
To blame the nation for the condition?
Is it improper for you to blame the nation for the condition of Chicago?
No. Not improper.
Okay. You're responsible for the conditions.
Do I worth $3 million?
What does
So,
that do?
Do I generate money and
let's
right?
Okay, we can get into that. But what
now so where's the building? Where's the building? It's all true. Yeah, it's up. We build across the limit rate is
give to the next
This idiot understood what I was trying to say. He understood what I was trying to say. He's missing the whole point of the debate once again. He said that was a good thing for the Nation of Islam not to get involved when the 4 little girls got bombed by the KKK inside their church. He also said that it's not the Nation of Islam responsibility to fix Chicago. But this is the same person that he talked about trying to control Mississippi. The Mississippi pipe dream idea. If you're going to tell me that it's not the Nation of Islam responsibility to figure, the Nation of Islam can run Chicago. How is it that you have immigrants like the Italians that could come over here, make their money off of drugs and all that stuff, and run Chicago, run these big cities? Especially during the 70s. These Italian mafias was running these cities. If you notice, they's the ones who came up with made deals where they can own construction companies and all these other they came from mafia money. Black folks been here since doing slavery, and you mean to tell me you can't run Chicago, but you're gonna sit here and tell me you want to control Mississippi? You ain't. I already knew right there. I already knew that Mississippi thing was a pipe dream. You ain't running nothing. If the Nation of Islam could not even run Chicago, the Nation of Islam has money. They take money from the poor. The Nation of Islam takes money from the poor and they keep it among themselves. Farrakhan lives in a mansion. Elijah Muhammad lived in a mansion. Dr. King didn't live that way. Malcolm didn't live that way. And no, they did not live in a ghetto. We should be living like Malcolm X. We should be living like Dr. King. Not living no hood, not living no ghetto. And most of us don't even need no damn mansion. He's missing the whole point. And I'm listening to this scumbag, and he's making excuses. Excuse after excuse after excuse. This man, this was a total TKO. Total TKO. He's telling me, and like I said, I don't have an army. I don't have an organization or army I can rely on. I don't have millions and millions of dollars like Farrakhan. But you best believe if I did have that money, changes will come. You was not taught, Bozo Muhammad, to control anything. You was not taught to run no Mississippi, to your Mississippi. You was not taught that. Your nation did not teach you to run anything. You was there to be a follower. So don't get mad at me if I called your idea a pipe dream. Keep talking about this Mississippi stuff, and I even told this bozo. I told Bozo Muhammad, your idea is flawed because you come from a nation that's not about building anything. It's selfish. The nation is selfish. Greed.
Doing stuff that has no business.
And again, he never showed it. He never showed these Muslim businesses that the nation is running. He never showed the printing. He should have showed that stuff. We live in an era of information. There's no excuse for you to withhold information from us unless it don't exist. It don't exist. This is an era of information. And he didn't show none of that stuff. So far concerned, it's a lie.
First job is to your immediate member. That's the first job, right? That's wrong.
Okay. Granted. Let's do it that way. Yes, they should take care of Muslims first.
So now, when you're talking about what is the business, we have 3 or 4 farms, big acres of farms that people in the community, they can come to the mosque and purchase their fruits. They want to work the farm, they can make arrangements and go out there on the farm just like we do, work the farm. See, remember, you ain't paying child. What we like for me, you to tell me your money going, to show me where your money going, because no, right? So why should people?
You heard what he said? According to him, he don't have to answer to black folks. The Nation of Islam do not have to answer to black people. But you take money from black people. Now, like I said, I used to, when I was living in Harlem, the Nation of Islam would come around, sell their stale bean pies and a crappy final call papers to non-black Muslims. I'm sorry, to non-Muslims, black people, I would say black folks that were non-Muslims. They got rich off selling their stuff to black people, whether it was Muslims or not. So that's what the money came from. On top of that, I even said that Farrakhan are getting white donation money as well. Now, I don't know about these farms. He didn't show any evidence. He didn't show and didn't even show the right evidence. Anybody could show a land and say, "Oh yeah, the Muslims got this," but you got to show proof of that. Who runs it? Who owns it? You have to show proof. And now he's saying, "Well, we don't have to prove anything to black people, but you have no problem taking our money." Yes, we have every right to know what our money is going to. Now, I bought some final call papers growing up. And matter of fact, I even bought a couple of bean pies. growing up when I was a kid. And I was influenced by my brothers and sisters who was 10%ers and 5%ers. Not necessarily part of the nation, but they was 10%ers and 5%ers. They was like, man, try out the bean part. They're pretty good. I didn't really care for it too much. But I was influenced by the 10%ers and 5%ers. So yes, I want to know where my money's going. I don't care if the final call paper was $1. I want to know what my dollar is going to. My dollar was not supposed to go into nobody's pocket. It was not supposed to have somebody to drive in limos and fancy cars. So my dollar, I don't care if it was my dollars, because I paid more than one, should not have gone to nothing, to somebody who was trying to live this privileged life. So I don't want nobody telling me that I didn't support some kind of way. Okay. So I'm sorry, I can't. Yes, we want to know where our money is going to, and you failed.
Open up our cupboards and show you what you we
I will
And that's the reality of it. And no,
Okay. I don't know. Something's going on with my screen sharing. I can't really play the whole thing. It gets really interesting. So I think what I might have to do a it's because I don't have no fars. I only got a little bit to go. But basically I was telling him, he was saying those who hasn't really contribute don't get to ask questions about what the nation's doing with the funds. I disagree, because when I was growing up, they were selling final calls to our people. They were selling the bean pies. They made them, and they was out there every day doing that, walking around with the final call paper, still doing the 1960s style, walking up and down the block, selling the final paper, selling bean pies. So yes, I was one of them that contribute, because that is contribute, that is supporting. That is supporting. I don't care if I paid $1. I don't care if I pay $1. I want to know what that dollar is going to. And it should not be going to fancy clothes, to sports cars and mansions and, no, it should go back to invest back to the community. And again, I want to say this clearly. Christmas time, you didn't see them out there. Thanksgiving time, you didn't see them out there. Them doors were closed. They took our money. The Nation of Islam took our money, and they shut the doors on us. They didn't care if our babies were hungry. They didn't care about our homeless. They didn't care about none of that. So yeah, I have a problem with that. I have a problem. But you heard how selfish he was. I'm going to play the rest of it. Very selfish. Very, very selfish. And he thinks what he's saying is the right thing, and people co-sign that. You had his team co-sign it. So he's telling you, he's already letting me know that the Nation of Islam don't care about black folks. It's all about them, because like he said, we have to cater to Muslims first. It's really sad that you hear a black man, and the whole time he's talking, he's taking it for wrong. He's taking it for wrong. I don't think that's right. So, I just had to throw that in there. This was a very interesting debate, although I'm looking at this now and I'm just like, wow. Like he really showed his true colors in the debate. He wasn't really I don't think he really was prepared of what we're gonna throw at him. And see, I did the what you call a rope-a-dope move on him. And he said, agree with this. I agreed. Whatever I agreed to, it was basically because I'm too linked on what he was saying. I remember brother Jabari, And Jabari was like, all right, yeah. Okay. And even what Jabari kept saying, he told his opponents, get to the point of what you're saying. You're not saying anything. Because they stuck. They're confused. They're trying to find reasoning. They're trying to find reasoning. And I already knew that he was gonna collapse. I already knew that. The frustration, if you know what you're talking about, you don't get frustrated. You don't have to be a hype man for your audience and be like, yeah, and the God. Talking about Elijah Muhammad was born so he could sneak in and try to be a chameleon and act like he's white and pretend that he's white. I'm like, their messages is not for black people. And that's the problem. Their messages is not for black people. It's not for black people. So I had to just play that. And I think I'm going to play the rest sometimes, probably next year. And just play the rest of it. Play that last few bits to really, because I asked him a question. I said, since you hate white men, hate the white man so much, have you ever beat up a white man? Have you ever fought a white person? You know, have you ever done anything? He said no. So my question is, how are you going to advocate violence on your enemy when you have not done that? I've done it. I've done it since I was in third grade. I was fighting white boys. I've done it. So you advocate violence to your enemy, but you don't do that. Just ask him why. He said one dude called him the N-word. One white guy called him the N-word. He didn't step up to him. Even when somebody was telling him, yeah, he said it. I said, well, did you do anything about it? Did you check them? I said, no, I didn't check them. That's why I don't listen to clown dudes. I don't listen to these goofy guys, these people. They get on YouTube and they claim they're about their life, and then when you really test them, they're not really about their life. They just sound stupid. They sound they just don't they sound really stupid at the end of the day. So so with that said, I'm going to end this live real quick. I'm going to end this live. I think I already made my point. And because this was very interesting. I really had to do a sometimes I might have to do that. I might just have to go through my videos and just watch them just to see. But I really had this dude against the ropes, like to the point that he didn't know what to do. He did not know what to do. He didn't know what the punches was coming from. He was just like really, and he thought while we finally engaged, I really get to check him because I really didn't want to engage while he was doing his presentation. I didn't want to engage in that. I want him to rebuttal everything I threw at him and stick to the topic. Even when it came down to what had the nation have done for the black man, black woman, and child, for the trinity of the African family. What have they done? And according to him, they didn't have to do anything. But they have every right to take your money and splurge with it, and you should not say anything about it. But I have donated. Not donated, but I have supported. I bought a couple of Final Call papers. I tried a couple of their. I bought a couple of their bean pies. So yes, I want to know what my money went to, and I realized since my money was not going back into the community or back into the neighborhood. That's when I stopped. That's when I know it was all a hustle. And he know it was a hustle. There's the reason why I said, well, they're not obligated to fix up Chicago. Yes, they are. Because our people are either hungry and they dying. Because of lack of resources, lack of opportunities. We have an economic problem, and he knows that. But you have Farrakhan sitting up there with $3 million, $4 million, and you mean to tell me he can't put $1 million to the side and say, let me build this fact, let me build this, let me build that? Something's terribly wrong. I don't care if he had built his own university. So there's no love for Farrakhan on my part. And anybody that support that scumbag, I don't got no love for either. Because you're supporting wrong. You're supporting wrong. So with that said, I'm going to end this live. I don't know. I was trying to finish this today, but for some reason it kept let me see if I can do it again. If it freezes up again, I'm going to let me see something. Yeah, I'm gonna end it. There's something's wrong with this. Because every time I try to share it, the internet service gets weaker. So with that said, family, I'm out of here. 5,000. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your new year. And like I said, and then don't let nobody shame you of what you're doing. You enjoy your feast. And like I said, I'm enjoying my New Year feast. Drink some good bubblies. I'm gonna have a good time, just like on Christmas Day. I had a feast, enjoy some bubblies, open up some gifts. I enjoy watching my family open theirs, and it was all good. It was all gravy. I ain't gonna let somebody tell me like trying to shame me of celebrating when I'm with my family. And when it comes down to them, they're not with theirs. Ask them why they wasn't with their family. Why they was eating still TV dinners and food out of a can. They lonely. The only thing they want to do is sitting on YouTube all day worrying about what the next man or next woman is doing. So I'm good. So with that said, family, I'm out of here. Peace. you.